All right, welcome in, shooters. We're super excited to jump back into one of our favorite segments, the Sneak Peek, coming to you a little bit different platform here. We're on YouTube, and you get to see our pretty faces and have us talk a little bit to you guys. Before we jump into who we have with us talking sneakers and what shoes specifically we're talking about, I do want to give a quick shout out. We have our Shooters Touch magnets are in. So we're going to go ahead, and the first 10 people that DM us on Twitter with their mailing address, we'll send you out a Shooter's Touch magnet. So shoot us a DM on Twitter, and we'll get that to you guys as soon as we possibly can. And they're pretty sweet. Turned out good. The perfect addition to the beer fridge. So shoot us a DM, and we'll get those mailed out to you. And with that sneak peek, guys, I got Adam, my guy, with me as always, and then his guy, special guest JJ. Guys, how we doing tonight?
We are good. I'm good. I know that I'm excited to get back into the sneak peek, I guess, portion of our show that we haven't jumped into in a long, long time. We've had some great guests, but it's always fun talking sneakers. And as you mentioned, my guy JJ from Omaha, known JJ for a long time from our time at UNI, but welcome JJ. Glad to have you here.
Hey guys, good to be here. Anytime we can talk sneakers is a good time, no matter if it's 10 degrees outside like it is right now, but we're down in our basements and Adam looks like he's in a cave of some sort. But anytime we can talk sneakers is always going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Unfinished basement. I'm not very handy, so I gotta try to get that done and try to pay for it, you know.
That's always a battle. But you mentioned the cold. I mean, we got snow on Saturday. 3 days into winter, I said I'm already over it. Let's go. This is every time we get to this point, I'm like, we live in Iowa. Why? And then I think about how obviously Omaha close enough, but I think about how great the Midwest is, and it's like, man, but if we could just have 3 seasons, then let's do it. You know?
Yep.
Tell you what, as a teacher, there's nothing worse than getting snow on a weekend. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
That is true. Oh, hey, a sidebar on that. What's snow days going to look like moving forward? Anyway.
In the school district that I teach at, and most of the way that Omaha seems to be going is snow days are going to be non-existent now. Is everyone's got an iPad pretty much. My school is 1-to-1. I know OPS, Omaha Public Schools, spent a ton of money getting every kid some kind of technology. That it's crazy to think how we all survived having a snow day, because now it's straight to, firing up the Zoom and teaching from home for that day or whatever. So it's interesting. We haven't had one yet. And then last year we didn't have any that they were prepared for this type of stuff. But since the Corona hit back in March, I think they've been altering everything. So we went away from teaching in the building for a couple of months. And now anytime we have a snow day, it's just log on to Zoom and start teaching.
Definitely miss those snow days, both as a teacher and as a kid. A nice little built-in break. As a kid, we just went to the YMCA and hooped all day. But at the same time, probably on the teacher side of things, get me out in May. So I'll go hard and get out in May instead of waiting around till June. So it's kind of a give take, I guess, either way you look at it.
Yeah, we all complain about it now, but I think in June we'll be complaining a lot more if we're still in the building. So it definitely pays itself off.
Absolutely. Well, good, man. That's good insight. All right, guys, let's get into our sneakers. And we picked a special shoe tonight, and a big reason why JJ's on with us too, and we'll get to his collection here in a minute. If we're talking collections, we're probably talking something in a line that's often collected. So for you listening, following along, watching, we're talking about a Tinker Hatfield shoe. We're talking about a shoe that got put in a little bit of a tough place. Just because of the one that came in front of it was so iconic. I think it got slept on a little bit when it came out back in 1989. And then I think it has quite a bit of a resurgence here as of late. Maybe not just as of late. I think the fact that one of the Jordan golf shoes is being released in one of the famous colorways this summer has helped maybe a little bit with the trend of where it's at. As well as maybe the fading of its predecessor, the Jordan 3, and the popularity in which that it has, and now maybe people have kind of moved on a little bit. Some people maybe have been in love with it from the get-go, from day one. But tonight we are talking, if you haven't figured it out yet, obviously we're talking about the Jordan 4. Classic shoe. Didn't veer all that far away from the Jordan 3. Obviously the elephant print did come off of the Jordan 4. from the Jordan 3, but the structure, technology, very similar to what was in the Jordan 3. But guys, Adam, I guess we'll start with you. Have the Jordan 4s. What do you remember about the Jordan 4s? How does it take you down that memory lane?
Yeah, I have had a couple pair of them. And honestly, you look at it and you mentioned the iconicness of the Jordan 3. You look at the bottom or the sole of the Jordan of the 4, and it resembles the 3. Even from the side of it, resembles a 3 somewhat, with the air pocket and such. And honestly, when I bought my first pair, I think I had the 4s and the 8 in my hand, and I tried both of them on. And at that point, I was a skinny high school kid with huge feet, and the 4s, I remember it specifically, made my feet look the smallest from my point of view. So I went with the 4s, and I really love the 3s. Had 2 or 3 pair of those back to back, and then you mentioned it that at the time it came out, the 4s I think were a little bit slept on. What I remember specifically about the 4s, as far as Michael Jordan, is that he was wearing them when he hit that shot against Craig Elo in playoffs against Cleveland. And, I don't know if that really made him kind of take off. However, the re-releases of those, the retros of those have, obviously with any pair of Air Jordans, have come out, obviously sporadically, and there are quite a few colorways. But I really enjoy the shoe. As I mentioned, the air pocket, the multiple holes for the shoelaces, very iconic Jordan stuff that, were very, at that time, cutting edge. And so really enjoyed them, had a couple pair, like I said, and really enjoyed wearing them. Wore them out to the point where I didn't feel comfortable wearing them in public anymore. So, that obviously says something on my end too. What about you, JJ?
It's funny that you guys both brought up the 3s as kind of being the obviously the predecessor, but kind of the more popular version of it. Personally, I do like the 3s better. And when Adam asked me to be on, he's like, "Do you have a pair of 4s?" And I sent him a picture of the 5 pairs that I own. And then I started thinking, like, okay, why do I have 5 pairs of these shoes? And kind of going back to like what Adam said, it to me, it's more of the, the iconic picture. I was born in '87. So when they came out, when Jordan hit the shot, I had no idea who he even was. But as you grow older, being a hoops guy, you gotta look up and learn everything you can about him. And seeing that picture over the shot just makes it such a legendary shoe. Part of the I guess the legend, part of the story of Michael, you can't really tell that without the 4. The 3 is kind of the beginning of his shoe where it really took off. And the 4 is where like the basketball kind of catches up, where all of a sudden you started having that playoff success and things like that. And so I honestly don't remember when I got my first pair. I want to say it's probably by the time in college when I started working at Shields, where, that Shield discount is more of a curse than anything, because you spend more money, you just buy double of everything rather than saving money.
Oh, Brian knows.
Yeah. So it's, but no, so I mean, for me personally, obviously I would never play in it. It's a heck of a winter boot for this time of the year, like we were talking about with the cold weather. But I think when you think of Jordan's greatest moments, you can't, and being sneakerheads, you can't not connect that to not only what did he do on the court, but what shoe he was wearing at that time. And so being a Jordan guy, I got the poster in the background. I got multiple other posters around my basement. You kind of have to have that shoe. And then, so once you have one, and then you find excuses to like the other ways. I got the white and purple ones this summer, and my wife yelled at me when I got them. And I said, well, they're purple. I need them for you and I. That's where we met. And I was able to twist it that way. So that worked out. But it's just, it is a heck of a shoe. The more I think about it, I just said it's a shoe that you can wear with shorts, you can wear with jeans. It's not a high top like the 1 or the 2 or even the 6 and the 7, which are almost too combat bootish for me to wear in like shorts and stuff. And being a basketball guy, you can always find me in a pair of shorts, no matter what, whenever I'm inside or if it's possible. So it's just it's a awesome shoe. It's got an awesome story to it. And I think for the fact that you can pretty much wear it wherever with anything, makes it a lot better and a lot more feasible for someone who has a lot of pairs to say that it can at least wear them. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. So with me, my first pair of Jordans I got when I was in third grade was the Jordan 7s, and then I progressed and basically got every year moving forward. And so for me to go back, it was difficult when I was in my playing days for the most part. But you mentioned it as far as like connecting the shoe to Jordan and what he did on the court. I'm still a huge. If Jordan didn't wear the colorway, I usually don't have them. I'm a big, he's got to wear them on the floor. And every once in a while there are a few, and obviously the military 4s are one of them. I just love these colors. I mentioned it in the intro that the golf shoe version of these are coming out, and those are definitely on my watch list because that colorway, for whatever reason, I think is really awesome. Going back to Adam, if you're comparing from a playability standpoint, the 8s to the 4s, like I don't know how you could choose the 4s over the 8s though. The 8s they are a little bootish looking, but they're super comfortable. And so that surprised me a little bit. I get your theory as far as why, but yeah, the 8s, man, those shoes are pretty comfortable in comparison. But mentioned shields, actually Cedar Falls shields. So my first pair that I ever got was actually the gray ones, and I got these my sophomore year at Wartburg. And quick and pretty funny story about that is it was my sophomore year. They came out homecoming, and we were going to play in a kickball tournament in which consisted of a keg at second base. I think it wasn't a slip and slide from third to home. But before we could go and participate in those activities, I had to go and get up at the ass crack of dawn and get up to College Square Shields and go in. Probably Eric Bulk was probably who was working and getting the shoes. And I went and grabbed the gray 4s my sophomore year at Wartburg, and then ended up playing that year in those. And so again, going back to playability standpoint, obviously when they came out, would have been 04 at that point. Technology had improved, but from a playability standpoint, probably would have been better options. But of course, I had to swing up. Everyone's like, "You got to do what?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got to go get these sneakers quick, and I'll just meet you guys at the field." And ended up then showing up and winning that kickball tournament before the big homecoming game. But yeah, a lot of fun. Iconic shoe. I mean, tough to beat. Just a good, simple, clean look, and obviously the reason why we're talking about it here tonight.
Well,
you didn't wear those 4s in the kickball tournament, did you?
I did not. No, I saved them for the court.
Good. Right. Yeah,
that would have been an Adam Veet move right there.
No, I'm well, I mean, kickball's not my thing anyway, but I wouldn't have done that. You mentioned the the playability. I definitely wasn't looking to play in those shoes when I bought them. Just more of a wear. But and then you mentioned it, JJ, when I reached out to you and asked you if you had any, because we decided that, hey, if we're gonna bring a buddy on here, we want to make sure they have the shoe. And you sent me that's the moment that I realized that I am definitely the most retired sneakerhead in this group right here, because when you sent me that picture of all 5 or 6 of your pairs, I was like, man, that would be nice if I had those, but not happening right now. No way.
I tried to make a deal.
Hey, you did. You did. You tried to sell me those purple ones, but you mentioned your wife and how you were talking to that. I might actually use that now. So if hopefully Sarah and Megan don't have a conversation about that, so we use the same argument. But I'll try my best.
Megan doesn't buy it at all. I just to do it to make myself feel better. Like
it just worked. It just worked, right?
Yeah.
Well, guys, my favorite colorway of all is the fire red. Probably the first. Yeah, and JJ probably have them. Those are by far the best colorway, I think, in that shoe. What do you guys think about that? Brian, you kind of already mentioned it. So is that colorway your favorite?
Yeah, well, it kind of depends. I mean, we go back to ones that he played in. I like the white and cement ones that he wore. Like I said, my personal favorite that you can kind of wear around are those military 4s, the military blue, which I don't know why, because obviously they're dead stock. They've never even been tried on, but I would imagine they'd be pretty cool to wear around. JJ, what about you?
First, I had a pair of the military 4s. And that was the one pair that I had to throw away because, as you guys know, of parents with young kids, potty training. All of a sudden, I find Jordan squatting in my closet.
Oh.
And he had decided to soil the military force. So they were about half brown, and there was no coming back from them.
Come
So
on.
when you pulled those out, I forgot that I even had those. And when you pulled them out, I was like, oh God, that's a story. If for me, I would say the white cements are my favorite. I just like white shoes. As slow as I was and still am, I was always a firm believer that white shoes made you look faster. So I've always liked the looks of them. I think the bread pair, the black and red, are the most, like you said earlier, the iconic, because that's what he was wearing when he hit the shot. But personal preference, the fire red or the white cement would be definitely my favorite.
So what year then are your breads? Because you have the Nike on the back. I was trying to figure. I should have looked. I had no idea when I bought these, but so mine have the Jumpman. You have the Nike, which is the original ones, but then those were retroed.
Yep, I'm pretty sure these came out in 18 or 19. So okay. I want to say they were a Black Friday pair, maybe last year.
Okay. Mine, again, dead stock, but starting to yellow. The good thing, I used to be so mad about the yellowing, but now it's like everything. They're like, oh no, the yellow is cool. Like it makes it. I'm like, okay, I'm on that boat because half of mine have never seen the light of day. So if yellow makes them cool, then let's do it. So
yeah.
But well, perfect, guys. No, that was great. I love it. I love the Jordan 4s. Obviously, take people back. We've had some guests on the show that have mentioned or brought up the Jordan 4s. Just many reasons on why we wanted to get on SneakPeek here tonight and talk a little bit about them. JJ, we appreciate you jumping on. Won't be the last you hear of JJ. He'll make his way back on the pod here at some point, if not from a family member or one way or another. You'll hear more from him. And so, again, we appreciate it. Shoot us a message. Like I said, DM us for those magnets. If you held on this long, make sure you jump over to our other social media. Listen, watch, follow. We're doing what we can to continue to bring you guys content that you love. And as always, Adam, what do we always say?
Shooters, shoot.